Hey guys, it's Travis again with the filler video because I can't fucking plan very well. So yesterday, this room is very echoey. There's a lot of echo going on here. I can't fix it. I moved a lot of stuff out of here and now it's like there's nothing. It's scary. It's spooky. I'm working on a couple videos, but they're not going to be done for a while, and I know I haven't uploaded something in a while. And now I'm doing this filler video because why not?
Get ready, boys!
Feels amazing.
Oh, yes, I'm the first to enter eternity.
Oh, potato! Way to go, buddy!
The pipes are coming. Oh, Jesus, fuck! Oh, gummy skin! She's peeling me fucking
Stop!
skin!
Fuck!
Oops.
They're eating children! Fucking children!
So yesterday I finally got to see Sausage Party. Sausage Party is that R-rated animated cartoon movie that everyone's been talking about because it's one of the first CG animated full-length R-rated movie to come out in theaters. So Sausage Party, let's get the general premise out of the way. So Sausage Party, it has to do with food in a grocery store. They believe that once a food is taken outside of the doors of the grocery store, they go into the great beyond, where they where they are taken care of by the gods, which are humans, us. Of course, we know from the trailer and, you know, from personal experience, that's not exactly what food would probably want. So that's what they believe. And the main character is Frank, a wiener dog, and his girlfriend Brenda, a bun. You can see where this is going. And so they finally get picked one day, but they also get picked by a jar of honey mustard who had been returned by another person. And he saw what happened in the great beyond. So he came back and he's trying to warn everyone, but no one believes him. So he ends up just jumping off the grocery cart and he commits suicide, basically. That was actually a pretty funny scene. Because it's honey mustard, but it's also like his guts and they splatter on something. That's kind of part of the humor of the movie. What the honey mustard said to Frank, he's really bothered by it. What ends up happening, because the honey mustard got dropped, a lot of other food got dropped, including Frank and Brenda, who are outside their packages trying to save the honey mustard. So they end up on the ground with a couple other items, a couple other colorful items that we're gonna get to. And so their journey is to get back into their old packages and hope that they can get picked tomorrow, because the store just closed. But what the honey mustard said to Frank, it really bothered him that the great beyond is bullshit and the gods just eat food. That's the general premise of this movie, but I should probably get this out of the way. I didn't like this movie. I didn't like it very much, and it's actually crazy because when I went to check Rotten Tomatoes, because I was like, this can't be more than 40 or 50. This can't be. And I saw it's like an 81. I find that very hard to believe. And I think Sausage Party, a lot of the positive reception it's getting is because of the fact that it's an R-rated cartoon. Or R-rated CG cartoon. And it's one of the first, so I gotta give it some credit if it was a little better written. But we'll get to that. The message of the movie is very forced. Very forced. And it's funny because I saw a couple other reviews, and one of them was like, at first this is a raunchy comedy, but it offers some unique insight to the human condition. I was like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? It's the general message and the general moral. They're really not... That's kind of the thing. It's actually fantastic parallel, but it's so obvious which way they're going with it that you can see where it's going, and the dialogue just boils down to, get it? This is what we're talking about. Get it? Get it? Get it? I probably shouldn't slam that. It's made of glass. It's a table. I finally got a table instead of that doesn't matter. So that's kind of the problem with the story, the general overarching narrative. is that it draws a parallel that is way too obvious. And then my personal opinion is that it's just one of those things where you can do something like that and I'll be fine with it, but the way they did it is very awkward, to say the least. I really didn't like the overarching narrative, so there really isn't much else, which I expected. I really didn't expect, like, some cerebral thinking coming out of this movie. I was expecting dick jokes and food puns, which is what I got. And I got a lot of it. A lot of it. Now, this is actually the second problem with the movie, which is the humor, which is divided from food puns, innuendos, and racist jokes. That is pretty much the only humor you're gonna get in the movie. There's no real jokes that happen. There's a couple that happen. It's funny because I laugh at the actual jokes that were in the movie just because they weren't puns or innuendos. I love puns. I'm a fan of puns. I will laugh every time there's a pun. I love puns. Sausage Party is starting to question my faith in puns because it just happens all the time. But they're not too bad. Like, most of the puns revolve around seeing a food and what kind of personality it's gonna have, which kind of blends into the racist jokes. Just a couple jokes like that. Like, actually, one of the best scenes in the movie is already in the trailer, which is the, for lack of a better word, food desecration scene, where the woman is preparing the food and she's murdering all the food. That's one of the funniest scenes in the movie, but it's in the trailer. That scene would have been 1,000 times more funny if it wasn't in the trailer. And that's kind of the problem that Sausage Party also has, is that it ditches a lot of its comedy in the trailer, which I really didn't like. That's actually why I liked Suicide Squad a lot. Like, they put all of the throwaway jokes in the trailer, and they put some of the cool action in the trailer. So when I went to see Suicide Squad, I got a lot more than what I was expecting. So I like Suicide Squad, which is interesting because I'm starting to like stuff that critics don't like and dislike stuff that critics do like. That's very strange. I don't know what's going on. Then again, I like The Revenant, so I didn't think it was amazing, but the cinematography, that was fantastic. That doesn't matter, we're talking about a different movie. Actually, after watching Sausage Party, I was like, I want to watch The Revenant again. I don't know why. I think it was that feeling of, I just want to watch a good movie. Because whatever I just watched, that wasn't a good movie. So that's the only thing, that's only a mileage you're gonna get out of the puns. The other part is the innuendos and generally the raunchiness of the script. Now, innuendos and raunchiness, I really don't care about that stuff. Like with Deadpool, that was probably one of the most raunchy things I had seen in a while, but then I kind of went on a binge of raunchy comedy, and I kind of liked it. I got reacquainted with raunchy comedy, like even with South Park. I really like South Park, but Sausage Party, it sucks because it's getting a lot of its credit from the fact that it's an R-rated cartoon, CG animated cartoon, and a lot of the humor comes from the fact that there are cartoon characters saying fucking shit. But it's the same thing whenever you take just Mickey Mouse and it's like, hey, what's up? Huh, I'm gonna fuck your shit up. That's kind of the humor that the movie rests on. It banks off of that humor. Which, you know what? Having Kermit the Frog saying fucking shit, it's funny for a minute, maybe. But then it's like, I get it. But Sausage Party, they really want you to drive, they really want to drive home that this is an R-rated comedy. Because we're saying fuck, shit, cunt, stuff like that. The first 5 minutes are a great gauge of how you're gonna feel during the movie. This is a line of dialogue from one hot dog to another, to Frank, the main hot dog. Yo, Frank, sorry to fucking say this, but your fucking girlfriend's a fucking cunt. And then Frank responds, what the fuck, shut the fuck up. Those are lines of dialogue that were written and put into a very high budgeted movie, which I find very sad. I'm not sure if it's the same animation team that did Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs and Hotel Transylvania. It looks like the same animation, and it is from Sony, so maybe? I can't remember. It looks very similar which is sad because this movie is actually beautifully animated. It's fantastically animated. The designs, they really could have used some work. There was a lot of designs that were just gross looking. Like the humans were almost all designed like very gross. Like even Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, that had fantastic character design. They had characters who were designed with their personality, but this really doesn't look like very good design work when it comes to humans. And with the food, it's kind of cheating because they're just food with arms and legs, that's it. And yeah, a lot of the movie works off of the fact that they're cartoon characters and they're swearing, that's funny. Oh look, it's a wiener and it's in a hot dog, it's like sex. Get it? Did you not get it? You already got it? Well, there's a wiener and it's a bun and it's like sex. That's the movie for 86 minutes. That's kind of the spacing of the innuendo and the jokes. It's just so irritating. And I think probably part of the reason it's irritating is because I have seen R-rated material that isn't this sloppily written. And actually there is a show on YouTube by Rooster Teeth called Camp Camp. I'm not sure if you guys have seen or heard Rooster Teeth, but they're the people who made the Red vs. Blue, the Hail Machinima series. The reason that Camp Camp is good is because it looks like it has the aesthetic of the kids show, but also the characters are doing something raunchy, and it's very well spaced out with the raunchy comedy. It's fantastically paced. I love Camp Camp. Because it doesn't drive home the point that it's an R-rated cartoon. I just love the spacing, and even South Park, the king of offensive comedy, even they have better pacing than this movie. It's irritating because Cartman, Kyle, Kenny, and I can never remember the fourth kid's name. God damn it. Stan, I remembered it. Those four characters, they don't say fuck every sentence. It's South Park. They have some of the most offensive comedy ever. But even South Park knows when to tone it down for the sake of comedic timing. Then Sausage Party. Sausage Party just... It just felt like it wanted to get away with a lot because it's an R-rated movie. It's an R-rated cartoon. And it did get away with a lot, because there's a lot of innuendos, as I previously said, and if you're gonna see this, despite what I say, if you're gonna be like, oh, I'm sure I'll be fine with it, I'll just watch it anyway, watch it alone. I thought about bringing my friends to this, and I was like, they're a little bit vanilla, so maybe not. I'll just go to the theater by myself. I am so glad I went to the theater by myself. There were 4 other people in the theater. I felt awkward watching it with them. It was just awkward being in the same space as other people watching a scene which is 5 minutes of a grocery store food orgy. That happens. It was one of those... It was that moment where I had my head down the entire time. I'm pretty sure I would have done that even if I was the only person in the theater, which would have looked really weird if someone came in to clean up and it's just me in the center of the theater staring at the movie while the food orgy is going on. Cause it's just food fucking. It's just this gigantic orgy and it goes on for 5 minutes. I would have hated to be that animator that had to do that. It's kind of the only humor it really has is the innuendos and that kind of stuff. The other part of the humor is the racist comedy, which I really don't care. Again, I'm one of the least PC people you guys are probably ever gonna meet. And a lot of the racist jokes, they were pretty funny. I'm not gonna deny that, but a lot of the jokes were kind of like pot shots and like, you probably could have done more with that than just, oh, it's the bagels, so he's Jewish and he has a big nose. So, why can everyone do that accent? I find it very weird that everyone's like, Jewish accent is like, oh, look, yeah, Meshuggah. Why can everyone do that accent? That is very, like the old Jewish lady accent, like, no, I don't like this movie. I thought it was gonna be a good movie, a good wholesome movie. Biden, your brother made a better movie. It was just... Why can everyone do that accent? It's so weird. It's the same thing with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Everyone can do that accent. I mean, they can do an imitation of that accent, but, you know... everyone can do that, but, you know... Anyway, they were kind of funny, but a lot of them were kind of surface-y, but it's like, oh, it's a soy sauce, and, you know, he's Asian. What was the one? It was some German... I think it was sauerkraut. I can't remember, some German dish, and of course they're all Nazis, you know. We will exterminate the juice. You know, juice as in the drink. One of the characters is like, what? I like juice. I mean, they're fucking hilarious. So yeah, that's kind of the only humor of the movie. It's just not very good. And the only jokes are laughed at were jokes that were just jokes. They weren't even really that funny. It was just it's the kind of joke where it's like sure, we gotta go through here, and the other character's like, you don't sound too familiar because you're talking like this, and the other character's like, oh, we need to go through here, and it's like, yeah, that's better. Like, I laughed at that because it was a joke. There was a setup and a punchline. There was something there. Everything else is a pun or a dick joke. They got away with a lot because it's animated. Like, there's an animated scrotum in the movie. It's a scrotum. It's fucking there, and it's being pulled, and I don't like that because I also have a scrotum. This video is going on a lot longer than what I thought it'd be. I'm not even sure if I'm gonna have any images. I might just have like a fucking blank screen. Sausage Party, whatever. That's probably the reason I really didn't like this movie, is because there wasn't really any real humor to speak of. Because puns, let's be honest, puns they're not jokes. They're not funny, and everything else is either an innuendo or a shallow joke or a racist joke. It's like, oh, it's a taco. She's a lesbian. All right. She goes down on the bun during the orgy scene. What was the Arabic guy? I could not figure out what item he was. I wasn't sure if he was pita or he was some kind of wrap. I know he was a wrap, or I couldn't figure out what he was, which is really hard to describe to other people because I don't know what he is. So of course him and the Jewish bagel, they're fighting over the territory, which is fucking topical. So yeah, it's a sausage party. There really isn't a lot there. I think it's getting a lot of mileage out of the fact that it is an R-rated and it got away with a lot. There's even a decapitation. The movie got really violent in the last 20 minutes. Some of the funniest scenes are in the trailer, so that kind of sucks. It's a run-of-the-mill, I wouldn't even say run-of-the-mill. It's like below the standard of run-of-the-mill raunch comedy. The only kind of difference that it has is the fact that it's animated. That's really the only difference that there is. And I've already seen a ton of R-rated animated material on the internet. I've seen enough of it. I've seen really good stuff. Camp Camp is a really good example. I like Camp Camp. It knows how to pace a fucking joke. But yeah, that's it, the Sausage Party. I really can't recommend it to anyone, which I find surprising because it's getting a lot of good reception. Like, not even like as a joke movie. It was just one of those movies like even at 86 minutes, it's like, this is starting to wear thin. Are we like done yet? So if you're gonna go see it, watch alone. Do not bring anyone. Even if your friend's like, dude, I'm raunchy too. I got that comedy. I'll be fine. Don't watch it with him. I swear to God, you're both gonna feel awkward watching that scene, and it goes on for 5 minutes. You're gonna be sitting through 5 minutes of just pure awkward. God, that was it just came from nowhere. But yeah, that's it. Sorry about the lack of uploads. I'll try to do better. I've been busy with finishing Dark Souls, basically. Also, I did the same thing by the time of my last filler video, where I had a lot of ideas, and I'm working on them at the same time, but not really finishing any of them. So that's kind of the second problem I'm having right now. So sorry about the lack of uploads. But yeah, if you've even watched this long, thanks for watching. Yeah, bye. Don't see what Sausage Party. It's not very